What's going on? Welcome into My Take Is. Thank you for clicking on the video. Do me a favor and click subscribe as well. Indiana beats Miami to be your 2026 college football national champions. And I think that when you watch sports, there are two things that are incredibly easy to see. One is talent. You could see that Caleb Williams was special when he took his first snap at Oklahoma. The one game that Patrick Mahomes played his rookie year in Kansas City, you could immediately see the talent level that he had. The other thing that you can see pretty easily is toughness. Fernando Mendoza is the toughest player in college football this year. And his toughness is why Indiana was able to go on this 16-0 run and win the national title. We saw it early in the year against Oregon when he throws a pick six. And then what does he do? He responds with a touchdown drive. We saw it against Penn State on that game-winning drive that started off with him taking a sack. They look up, it's 2nd and 17, and he just throws a dart over the middle to Omar Cooper Jr. to kind of get that drive started. We saw it against Ohio State where he gets rocked on the first play of the game and then just plays really well from that point forward. And we saw it again tonight. He got hit more in this game than he's been hit all year. I don't know if you saw his interview after with Holly Rowe, but he holds up his arm and it's just red and it's bruised. It looks nasty. But it just didn't matter. Because even though Miami hit him, every chance they got, it just didn't matter. He had a huge rushing touchdown. It's 4th and 5. They call that quarterback draw. He breaks a tackle, somehow maintains his balance, dives across the goal line where he gets crushed again. Every big third down, Fernando Mendoza converted. Every time Indiana needed a big play, Fernando Mendoza found a way to deliver. Charlie Becker was a large part of that. That dude's so good with the ball in the air. I mean, incredible. Big, fast. I'm not saying this because he's white, but he kind of reminds me of Alec Pierce. Just a big, athletic, strong-handed dude who just does a great job of making contested catches. And he had 2 tonight to keep drives alive that were really impressive. Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number 1 overall pick. Look, I don't know if he works in the NFL. Indiana's offense it's a lot of RPOs. It's a lot of back shoulder throws. It's not really what an NFL offense looks like. But what I do know about Mendoza is his toughness 1,000% works in the NFL. He's a little awkward. He's a little weird. But when you get rocked like that repeatedly and you just pop up and make the next big play that your team needs, you immediately earn the respect of everybody that you play with and against. And his toughness tonight was just incredible, and it's why they won the national title. When Coach Cignetti after the game was asked about Mendoza, the first thing that he brought up was how tough that kid is. They don't win, they don't get to this point without his toughness. And it was on display the entire game. The entire game. Speaking of the game, the difference was special teams. Miami missed a field goal in the first half, and Indiana blocked a punt and recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. When you have two great teams, because that is what we had tonight, special teams, amazingly, always seems to decide the result. Miami's kicker has struggled throughout the playoff. You know, he missed, four field goals, right, in that game against A&M. I'm surprised that they let him attempt that 50-yard field goal. At that moment, though, it was the first drive where Miami had actually moved the football. I understand that they wanted to get points. I understand that earlier in the drive on 4th and 1, they barely got it. But you're Miami, and you're coached by Mario Cristobal. And your identity all year has been running the football and pushing teams around. I personally would have gone for it because asking that kicker to make a 50-yarder amidst all of the struggles that he had had recently, it just didn't feel like it was going to go in. I feel like if you were an Indiana fan, you wanted them to kick that field goal and make an attempt to cut it to a 7-point game. I thought that they should have gone for it, but I do understand the decision of this is the first time we've moved the football. Let's try to get some points here. The blocked punt wasn't surprising. Indiana had been close all game, and from the snap, you could tell that you just knew immediately that Indiana was going to have a chance because the snap was high and it was off to the right. And so, Miami does the thing where the punter rolls out, and it just seemed like he got too wide. And I think it's because he had to move to the right when he caught the snap. And then he punts it. Indiana blocks it, and then they recover it in the end zone. And that was, to me, the biggest play of the game because Miami had a lot of momentum. They were rolling there a little bit, and then that happened, and Indiana just took all of the momentum back. So special teams, Mendoza's toughness, the first half was an incredible showing from Indiana as well. Miami was 0 of 6 on third downs. Indiana, one time of possession, 20 minutes to 10 in that first half. Indiana ran the football pretty much at will and just completely bottled up the Miami offense that only had 69 yards of total offense in the first half and only had 1 first down. That slow start and special teams is ultimately what cost Miami the national title because in the second half, it was a Miami showing outside of the Fernando Mendoza 4th and 5 touchdown run and that block punt. Okay, Miami started running the football. Carson Beck, I thought, played a good game tonight. I didn't think he was great, but I thought he played at a pretty solid level. Their defense did a better job, Miami's, of stopping the run. They just couldn't seem to get the one stop that they needed. Every time the game was in the balance, Fernando Mendoza made the play, or Miami committed a penalty. They had too many penalties on third down tonight as well. And then Carson Beck gets the football back, down 6, no timeouts, 1:40 to go. It was a lot to ask. And then the drive starts with a delay of game, which is just the most Mario Cristobal thing ever. That just... Anyway, I don't want to rip on Mario. Anyway, people are going to kill Carson Beck for the interception because he's Carson Beck, and that's just kind of what people do. You had to hit a big play at some point. He tried to throw it into too small of a window. Did he need to go for the shot play there? No, but in order to have a chance to win the game, they were going to have to hit on a large chunk play at some point. He went for it there. The Indiana corner made a really nice play. Congrats to Indiana. They are sitting atop of college football right now, which is just a really weird thing to say. What Coach Cignetti has done these last 2 years is incredible. It's gonna get a lot of college football coaches fired because now people have seen how this is possible to take a poverty program, because that's what Indiana was, the losingest program in the history of college football, and then 2 years later win the national title. And not just win the national title, go 16-0 and win the national title. Just an incredible season from them, an insane turnaround, and Coach Cignetti rightfully owns the title of the best college football coach in the country. Just incredible stuff from him. Fernando Mendoza, just an incredible player. Indiana's rolling. They're only going to get better players because that's what happens when you win. Everyone wants to come play for you. Now that they're going to have their pick of the litter, and we're going to see Indiana in the playoff year in and year out. There might be a dynasty forming in Bloomington. It's a real possibility as long as Coach Cignetti's down there, as long as Mark Cuban and his other billionaire buddies continue to fund the program. They're going to have the resources money-wise, and they're going to have the coach to get it done. So a lot of good football coming to the state of Indiana and to Bloomington. Congratulations to IU once again. Last thing before I finish the video. Someone is going to do it. I did it sarcastically on X, and I think people think that I'm serious. Someone's going to propose the idea that this Indiana team is the best college football team ever. Stop. It's still 2019 LSU. That is all that I will say on that. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe. I got a lot more stuff coming out with the NFL going on, and NBA stuff is going to start popping back up on the channel. So, again, please make sure that you are subscribed. We got a lot of great stuff going on here. Congratulations again to the Hoosiers.